Welcome to this comprehensive guide on advanced JSON serialization in Unity, designed specifically for beginners. We'll explore how to efficiently manage data within your Unity projects. JSON, or JavaScript Object Notation, is a lightweight, human-readable format crucial for data interchange. It's incredibly easy for both machines to parse and humans to understand. In Unity, JSON is essential for data serialization, which converts data into a format that can be easily stored and reconstructed. This is vital for saving game data like player progress, settings, and configurations. Beyond game saves, JSON finds real-world applications in Unity for interacting with web services and efficiently packing or unpacking data for various functionalities. Now, let's dive into Unity's built-in JSON utility, a straightforward tool for basic serialization tasks. We'll start by converting a C-sharp object into a JSON string. To serialize data, we use JSON utility.toJSON. First, you need a simple serializable class, marked with the system, serializable attribute, which tells Unity it can be converted to and from JSON. Here's an example of our player data class. Notice the public fields that JSON utility will automatically serialize. Next, we create an instance of player data, assign some values, and then use JSON utility.toJSON to convert it into a JSON string. The debug log will output this string to the console. Now, let's reverse the process. Deserialization. We convert a JSON string back into a C-sharp object using JSON utility from JSON T. After deserializing, you can access the data just like any other C-sharp object, as shown here by accessing myObject.playerName. For best practices with JSON utility, always create dedicated serializable classes for your data structures. This ensures clarity and proper handling. However, JSON utility has limitations. It doesn't directly support complex types. You must convert them into lists or arrays. Crucially, it cannot serialize dictionaries. Furthermore, JSON utility only serializes public fields, not properties, which can be a significant constraint for certain data models. To omit specific fields from serialization, you can use the non-serialized attribute. This is useful for temporary or internal data. When debugging, the pretty print option for JSON output can make the serialized string much more readable and easier to inspect. Now, let's level up our serialization capabilities by introducing NewtonSoftJSON.net, a powerful and flexible alternative to Unity's built-in JSON utility. NewtonSoftJSON.net offers significant advantages, particularly its ability to handle complex data structures like dictionaries and provide fine-grained control over the serialization process. For instance, consider data structures that JSON utility struggles with, such as a dictionary mapping string keys to integer values. NewtonSoft handles these effortlessly. To begin using NewtonSoftJSON.net, you first need to add it to your Unity project. This is typically done through the package manager. One common method is to use the package manager with a get URL, com.unity.NuGet the NewtonSoft.json. This integrates the library directly into your project. Once installed, remember to include using NewtonSoft JSON at the beginning of your C-sharp scripts to access its functionalities. With NewtonSoftJSON.net integrated, we can now explore advanced serialization techniques, such as handling dictionaries and leveraging powerful attributes. Here's a clear code example demonstrating how to serialize a dictionary using NewtonSoftJSON.net. We define a game data class containing a player scores dictionary. We then populate the dictionary with some sample scores and use JSON convert that serialize object with format, indented for readable output. NewtonSoftJSON.net also provides powerful attributes like JSON property, which links a C-sharp variable to a JSON key with a different name. The JSON ignore attribute allows you to exclude a public property from being saved, useful for transient data. And JSON required ensures a property must be present during deserialization, preventing errors from missing data. Let's compare JSON utility and NewtonSoftJSON.net to help you decide which tool is best for your specific needs. JSON utility is fast, built-in, and optimized for performance. It's also AOD safe, meaning it works well on platforms like iOS and WebGL. However, its cons include limited features, no direct support for dictionaries, and it only serializes public fields, not properties. NewtonSoftJSON.net is more flexible. handles complex data structures, and offers fine-grained control over serialization. Its drawbacks include requiring installation and potentially a larger file size for your project. Our recommendation: use JSON utility for simple data structures and quick local storage. Opt for Newtonsoft JSON.NET when you need to handle more complex scenarios. Let's explore some helpful tips and best practices to master JSON serialization in your Unity projects. Always use serializable classes to define your data structure. This provides a clear blueprint for your JSON data. When using JSON utility, carefully handle complex data by converting types into lists or arrays before serialization. For sensitive data, consider encrypting your JSON strings before saving them to ensure security. Implement try-catch blocks for robust error handling during deserialization. This prevents crashes if your JSON data is malformed or missing. For file management, utilize system.io methods like file.writeAllText, file.readAllText, and file exists to read and write JSON files. In summary, JSON serialization is a cornerstone of data management in Unity, with JSON utility for simplicity and Newtonsoft JSON.NET for advanced needs. We've covered the importance of JSON, Unity's built-in JSON utility, and the powerful capabilities of Newtonsoft JSON.NET. Now it's your turn. Experiment with JSON in your Unity projects to build more dynamic and data-driven games.